At Nagico, the things that matter to you matter to us. Like your boat when you're at sea and you get away from everything. Your home and the security of your daughter's things. And the car that you've had for too long, but after all these years, you just can't let go. At Nagico, we're about much more than just insurance. We're about the big things and the small things that mean everything.
We're not just another Caribbean airport. We're an international gateway, designed with you, the traveler, in mind. SXM provides a state-of-the-art international travel experience, where ease and convenience is second only to safety and efficiency. At SXM, we're taking travel and tourism to new heights. Here we boast spacious check-in areas, 10 passport control points, comfortable departure lounges, and an exciting new airport mall. Finally, there's an airport in the Caribbean that takes your travel plans as seriously as you do. Princess Juliana International Airport. The experience will move you.
Welcome to the Late Night Show. Hope everything is okay. Hope everything is all right. I'm your host, Andrew Dick. Okie dokie, kids, what's happening on the lovely Isle of St. Martin? We begin with the news that the Minister of Justice, Nathalie Takelin, was the sole minister at the Council of Ministers press briefing. And yes, I know we announced on Facebook that we were not going to cover the Council of Ministers. However, we are covering them for the late night TV program. So now that we get out of the way, so she come to the press briefing, and of course reporters were present, because you would think that, you know, it's the press briefing of the press. That's why it's called press briefing. Anyway, so the Council of Ministers did not show up. A Council of Minister showed up, and that's Nathalie Takelin. And yeah, she got some questions. Let's give you the highlight of that meeting today.
Good morning to the members of the media and, of course, to the people of St. Martin. I want to begin today by acknowledging my recent absence during the budget debate in Parliament. While, of course, I would have preferred to be present in person, I am pleased, however, that the 2025 budget has been approved. That gives us the necessary tools to continue doing the work the people of St. Martin rightfully expect of us. I also extend my gratitude to my dedicated team within the Ministry of Justice, who worked closely with me during my absence to ensure accurate responses were provided in a timely manner to aid parliamentary discussions. I have to say it was also quite exhausting during my trip because, of course, we stayed up the whole time trying to ensure that all the answers were accurate, a lot of times answering them ourselves. So there were late nights for me, especially with the time difference during the CC in Europe. But nevertheless, I think we ensured that that the answers were accurate. And for my staff that didn't travel with me, you know, I'm grateful for them for burning the midnight oil here with, of course, the acting Minister of Justice, the Minister of Finance. I know it was a tough time for her. So I also want to take the opportunity here to thank her as well. So that being said, over the past several weeks, I've had the opportunity to represent St. Martin on several important work visits. All of these were aimed at advancing justice sector reform, deepening our cooperation, and securing long-term support for our institutions. I want to briefly share the impact of each of these trips that I took. The first one was actually in the last week of May. On May 26th, I had traveled to Trinidad to participate in the 60th plenary of the CFATF, which is the Caribbean Financial Action Task Force. This is where our country's progress in combating money laundering, terrorism financing, and related financial crimes was assessed. The CFATF led St. Martin through a major evaluation. It was our current fourth round evaluation, which is a rigorous assessment of how well our country detects, prevents, and combats financial crimes and terrorism financing. This evaluation covered the period of 2019 to 2023 and measured both our technical compliance and our effectiveness, because it's not just about having the legislation in place, it's also about having the tools to actually be able to act on different things. You know, can we actually detect signals? And when we do detect them, do we have the proper mechanisms in place to be able to handle that? The evaluation showed improvement in several areas, but it also made clear that we still have a lot of work ahead of us. Our next report is therefore due in May 2026, so we will have to go back to the plenary once more. But in the meantime, we will be rolling out targeted actions to strengthen supervisory bodies, align strategies within the kingdom and our regional partners, and of course, advance our national risk-based action plan. One thing that I made clear at the plenary in Trinidad was that St. Martin was not there to make excuses. We were there to reflect, we were there to improve, and we're there to act. Financial crime is not just a technical issue, it's about trust, safety, and opportunity for our people. So in the coming weeks, months, and of course, up until the next plenary, we will be working actively on this. It was very helpful for me to be there in person because there was so much you learn within that week and seeing how other countries are addressing these issues, and also have the opportunity to speak to that assessment team to really talk about the technicalities to see where St. Martin can improve and how we can really strengthen this system. And I know to a lot of folks, it might seem sometimes, and this is one of the things where as a Ministry of Justice, we operate on a level of international compliance as well and international obligations, because the way that we score in these tests affect the way that we're able to bank, affect the way, whether or not we can take money out of the ATM. So while it may seem as something kind of high level, it's very important to the day-to-day life of people here in St. Martin. And it's why it's important for me as Minister of Justice to attend and also to ensure that we remain compliant and that we remain effective more than anything else. Then from June 10th to 12th, I traveled to Strasbourg. The days prior to Strasbourg, of course, I was in the Netherlands, and I had combined that with work visits. I got the opportunity to speak with on a high level there about different types of programs. There were some press releases that went out to that effect. But I wanted to maybe just spend a little more time now talking about the trip to Strasbourg. At that trip, I addressed the 46 member states at the Committee of Ministers for the Council of Europe. That is a section of actually the European Court of Human Rights. So as many people may remember, there was in 2018 a judgment that was rendered against the Kingdom of the Netherlands, the Corallo case, and that was an important human rights matter concerning, of course, the detention conditions here in St. Martin. As a result of that, of course, the Kingdom then has to give follow-up to the recommendations made by the European Court of Human Rights. As a result of that, we've been in what we call an enhanced follow-up procedure. And as part of that enhanced follow-up, we're actually obligated to every 3 to 6 months actually provide updates to the Council of Europe in writing. And then every so often, the case is then heard and discussed with the Committee of Ministers with all 46 member states. This was actually the first time that the Minister of Justice of St. Martin, during the course of this court case, attended in person. Previously, the ministers had attended virtually. I did recognize that I said if I had $1 for every time someone at the Council of Europe told me how grateful they were that a minister was there in person, that I could have had a lot of money for our justice budget and maybe hired some more police officers or fixed the detention conditions at an even more rapid pace. But that being said, over there, I reaffirmed our commitment to compliance, not just in word, but in action. I shared updates on the new prison project, our collaboration with the UN, both UNOPS and UNODC, and the restoration of key programs. Of course, a big part of the discussion centered around the fire that had the arson that was committed in the prison about a month ago, just over a month ago. And of course, what we were doing in that time to ensure that we were reestablishing normalcy as much as possible within the prison. More importantly, I also conveyed to the Committee of Ministers that our work is not just about ticking boxes. It's about restoring dignity and institutional trust in the prison itself. During the visit, I also held courtesy visits and in-depth meetings with different bodies of the Council of Europe to see how we can further work together. I met with the Council of Europe's Deputy Secretary General, the CPT, which is the Committee for the Prevention of Torture, the Directorate of Human Rights, the Department for the Execution of Judgments within the Council of Europe, the Vice President of the European Court of Human Rights, and several other executive branches of the Council of Europe. These exchanges, I think, opened many doors for further cooperation. And I also extend my appreciation to the Council of Europe for hosting me, and to the Dutch ambassador and the delegates of the Dutch Ministry of Foreign Affairs for their assistance to me during that trip. St. Martin will continue to uphold its responsibilities under the European Convention on Human Rights, not just out of obligation, but out of conviction, because we believe that this is something that's important. Then last week, I participated in the YVO, which is a 4-country meeting between the 4 ministers of justice within the kingdom. However, at the last minute, the Minister of Justice of the Netherlands had to cancel his trip. His delegation still came, but the minister himself was unable to attend due to, of course, the cabinet crisis in the Netherlands and reallocation of portfolios. And, he's now has part of the very famous Asiel dossier, and that required some in-person meetings last week, so he was unable to make it with us. However, the 3 ministers of the other islands and the other countries found it important to still have this meeting take place. Typically, it happens in January and June. In January, we were actually unable to have a YVO because of the elections in Aruba and Curacao. So we found it even more important for us to still meet and discuss important matters. So we held both bilateral and tripartite meetings. So I met separately with the ministers of Justice of Aruba and then with the Minister of Justice of Curacao, but then we also had a tripartite together. During those meetings, we addressed deeper systemic issues that all 3 of us face: staffing shortages, aging infrastructure within the justice sector, and of course, increasing pressure on all our prison systems. One point that I raised with some urgency is the homicide rate in St. Martin, which remains higher than in our sister islands. And that's true for both the Dutch and French sides of St. Martin. We spoke very frankly about early intervention for at-risk youth, the growing influence of organized crime, and the need for kingdom-wide community-based strategies. We also reflected on how to make the YVO more impactful. As I shared with my colleagues, we all face similar challenges, so let's work together more strategically and together. So in that vein, when it comes to our youth and youth crime, actually Curacao is taking the lead right now and going to work out a plan of approach, which we will then discuss in our next meeting in January, which is actually being held in St. Martin for the next YVO. While there, I also had the opportunity to visit Aruba's correctional facility, KIA, and then got to speak to them firsthand about valuable insights, what they apply, how they approach their prison system, and also to compare, the infrastructure of Point Blanche versus what it looks like on some of our sister islands. So that was a very helpful and useful trip. And I also, of course, had the opportunity to, in person, extend my gratitude and appreciation to both Minister Dowers of Aruba and Minister Hato of Curacao for their assistance during the Point Blanche prison crisis. They both assisted St. Martin by, very quickly actually mobilizing guards that we could utilize and that came here. And, I think that's really that perfect example of what cooperation within the kingdom can look like. And it was important to me to be able to meet them in person and not just over the phone. So that was a good opportunity for that as well. Then I'll move on from the trips. And I did want to address the recent media claims that I also came across yesterday while I was in travel, saying that customs officers were engaged in a go-slow. The management team of the Department of Customs has already put out a press release, but as minister, I also wanted to make it absolutely clear that customs remains fully operational. There has been no disruption in service, and I'm not sure where this go-slow came from. It was not mentioned to the ministry. And of course, I was reassured by the customs management team yesterday that the officers continue to carry out their duties with professionalism and that the ministry remains in active dialogue to resolve any long-standing concerns in a sustainable manner that the customs workers may have. So again, no go-slow, no formal communication of a go-slow, and everything remains operational. And again, we are in discussion with all the different departments in justice to address any longstanding concerns and issues that they have. Then with respect to the prison, we're continuing on that path towards stability. We're in what we now are calling our recovery phase. And inmates' housing has returned to normal and visitations have resumed. I'm also pleased to report that recreational and rehabilitation programs are gradually being reinstated. And we're also, I think, what was a nice opportunity here was that we were able to really kind of reignite, no pun intended, our relationship with the probation services, who are also now more active in terms of providing programs, and did a Father's Day program with the inmates, and so that's been nice to see as well. And in the broader structure of the prison reconstruction, and as I've continued to say, it's been very important to me that we start our soft component reform now and not when the new facility is there. And that in that vein, we've been in touch with the UNODC, who would be our implementing partner of the soft components. And right now we're in the final phases of formalizing that agreement for them to actually hopefully start within the next month or two. So that would be great, because that's also looking at how we can give more programs, more rehabilitation to the inmates right now. I also had an opportunity to speak with a group in Aruba that was actually currently providing programs in Kia, in their correctional facility. Their director is going to be visiting St. Martin in the next 2 weeks. And we have a meeting scheduled with them to see perhaps how they can also assist with deploying similar programs that they have here in the prison. They're able to do a lot using European funding. So I think that that's something very interesting to us, because wherever, of course, we can gain from utilizing any types of grants or funding from abroad, that's always a win-win for us. So we have those coming up, and I hope to be able to share some more updates on that front over the coming weeks. Then, of course, the LBAs, there were already some press releases, but just to reinforce that as well, Batch 13 has been signed and distributed, and batches 14, 15, and 16 are currently under review. When I say under review, we're busy finalizing that the files are complete. And we, as we had explained in Parliament, we're using a new structure with the SOAB, doing that validation process to ensure that all the calculations are correct, that you're going through all the different payroll systems, etc. All those files are there, so we're ensuring that everything is complete. And I know that there's been a lot of pressure. We've said that, kind of to be safe, where we're thinking Q4 of this year that we would have everything complete. I know that people would like to see more structured timelines. I'm hoping that within the next, maybe during this week or the week after, that I can have a stronger indication of exact timelines, because right now it's still kind of making sure all of the information is there. And of course, we're talking about hundreds of files. So right now we're still in discussion with SOAB to get a clear indication on those timelines. So I'm hoping that that is also something that I can communicate with a little more clarity instead of just saying Q4. But I do want to assure everybody that it's the utmost priority that everything is complete within the next few months. So Q4 is actually very soon. So at least that, I think, is at least some type of timeline indication. So then just to be clear, batches 14 and 15 are all remaining justice workers besides the prison. So 14, 15 is anyone who is still outstanding from the Immigration Department, from Customs, from KPSM, etc. Batch 16 is the prison. The whole batch is the prison. It's 95, and that's so just to give an indication of numbers. So 13, 14, 15, and 16, the entire rest of the Justice Ministry, and then of course there's a separate batch that will be just the department heads, because that was already a discussion from before, that the department heads would come at the end, from, I think, a place of solidarity. Yes. Then, finally, not necessarily too justice related, but as we approach the end of June, of course, graduation season is upon us. I tried to make a nail appointment, and they were very busy with prom and graduation and everything else, so I know. So to all the graduates, whether you're in primary school, high school, university, congratulations. You've worked hard, stayed the course, and now you're stepping into your next chapter. As the Minister of Justice, I encourage you to carry your values, your discipline, and your dreams with you. St. Martin needs bright, bold minds, and know that we believe in you. And of course, if you would like to have a career in justice, the Justice Ministry especially believes in you. And we hope that we could create more opportunities again for careers within the civil service and within the Justice Ministry. So I've shared a lot today so far. And But all these updates, whether they were from Trinidad, from Strasbourg, from the Netherlands, or from Aruba, they're not disconnected events. They're part of a wider strategy to strengthen our institutions, build trust, and secure the support that we need to serve our people better. Each trip was a deliberate step toward reinforcing the justice system in a justice system that our people deserve. One rooted in transparency, accountability, dignity, and resilience. Now that the budget has been approved, we have the means to continue, not just by planning, but delivering on the reforms and improvements our justice system requires. I'll end by encouraging the media and the people of St. Martin to follow our official communication channels for accurate updates and deeper insight into the progress being made within the Ministry of Justice. So then I think now I'm just the only one here for questions too, right?
All right. We still have a problem at the prison. The batches for the different police officers, the decrees are coming, but she's checking to make sure that it's the real deal because Lyndon and Anna didn't do a good job. So she needs to go through it again just to make sure everything is correct. Will a police officer or a justice worker please stand up and say this, just do this, if everything is perfect in your decree? I can't see you, so I don't know why you're doing that for. But understand what I mean? It's crazy. So she's going to send batch 30 and 14 and 15 and 16. She's going to make sure, because she want to make sure, give herself some time. So check her at the end of the year, which is the fourth quarter of the year. She's a real lawyer, man. I love it. Let's take a break. When we come back, more late night. Stay with us.
I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. You come around, yeah. You ease my mind, you make everything feel fine. Worry about those comments, I'm way too numb, yeah. It's way too dumb, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time. I need the Heimlich, throw that to the side, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. When you're not around, when you throw that to the side, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time.
Having trouble with my internet. It's dropping in my bedroom and the kitchen.
Problem in your internet is your Wi-Fi. You see, things like the size of your house, the building materials you use, like concrete walls, whether you have multiple floors. And let's not forget the distance between your modem and your devices, like your computer, your phone, TV. All these have an effect on the quality and the strength of your Wi-Fi.
How do you know this stuff?
You need to check Telem. They have mesh devices that allow you to create your own smart Wi-Fi network to cover your entire home. It's a few small devices working together like a team to cover your entire house with strong Wi-Fi signal. Super easy. Here, I get one from Telem today. Download the app from your phone app store, plug in the device, and plug into the modem. When light blinks blue, it's ready to pair via the app. Go to app, click next, and follow the instruction. Place the second device where you need coverage. Boom. Now you're covered. Telem makes it super easy. They offer convenient payment plans of just $12 a month. And my guy, and if you opt to get the fiber plan, they'll come and install it for you. Guess what? For free.
Oh, wow. I'm gonna get my smart Wi-Fi plan today.
Hey, let's do this thing.
Today itself.
Get your smart Wi-Fi from Telem today.
Time for your flashback. Alrighty then. Okay, so let me talk about the obvious. We're not going to say Happy New Year every time we see each other because it's already the 2nd of January and things are already moving. Listen, it's 2025. Happy New Year is supposed to be said after 12 o'clock on midnight, 31st of December. Then maybe in the morning you see somebody, okay. But the second, let me just like let it go, no man. Because we just carry that whole tradition for the entire month of January. And then I notice that I keep on saying it to people twice and 3 times. And I'm like, shit, I already tell them Happy New Year, and I'm telling them Happy New Year again. It's crazy. And of course, there was a lot of happening that was taking place. First of all, the police of St. Martin would like to thank the population for actually behaving for this Boxing Day, Christmas, and also New Year's. It was almost incident-free, except the guy who get the shit beat out of him from the police in Down Street. There was nothing else that was really happening. Oh, there was a robbery at Causeway gas station. That took place. Like a guy was standing outside, and a guy just drive up with a bike, and he was like, "Yo, yeah, he did this. Give me your money." And the guy was like, don't shoot. Here's money, take it. And then he drive away on the bike. And you wonder why police beating the hell out of people. It looked like they was done with it. Now, the story is that the guy was intoxicated. It was New Year's, Old Year's. He then was there cussing out family members. You know, those type of families that you just wonder how come the family, because they're always fighting at a family gathering. And then right after, you get involved and the same family that was fighting each other the day before just come and beat your ass. That type of family, you know, down the street. Anyway, so you had a situation whereby this guy was just out of control and police was telling him, hey, sir, please calm down. Sir, please calm down. And the guy was like, nah, F this, throwing bricks at cousins and family members. So they was like, nah, okay, we got to put you down. But it's 2025. We taping everything. You cough. Before we tell you God bless you, or you sneeze, we're going to tape it first. I catch it. Anyway, bless you, brother. You good? Because accidents happening now, people are literally on the floor, in the puddle of blood. And you have people, instead of helping, take out their phone and tape them and go like, this is horrible. This is so horrible. Oh my God, Jesus, this is horrible. Oh my God, look at that. Jesus Christ. You got Wi-Fi? I gotta upload this. And then you gotta thank the neighborhood snitches for the different neighborhoods in St. Martin, Friendside, Dutchside. Why? Because you always have the neighborhood snitch. Like the police also thanked all the people over the entire 2024 that, you know, called in the tip line. Yes, they wanted you to know that they actually appreciate the fact that you just snitch on your neighbors or family members or anybody else for no apparent reason. They don't even put a reward. So that you'd be the first one to go like, hello. Yeah, I heard you was looking for this description. I think it's my neighbor. That you always want to beat that neighbor who would be the first one on the scene, and instead of helping the situation, they're busy talking to police. Like, just imagine that this is the neighbor, and they're like, oh, it's D, and D is the one who. So what you could do is you gotta go lock them up, and she'll be like, yo, look at the snitch, look at the snitch. It's insane. Anyway, in other news, we here at Great Bay Media believe that 2025 is a time for growth. It's a time where we're supposed to be more professional with all the productions that we have by the studio. Late night have to step it up. And we believe that 2025 is going to be a year of no mistakes at all. Oh, you don't know what I'm talking about? We just make mistakes now. Like, we're not perfect. Let me check this reel of bloopers. This is one of my favorites. I had Pete save all the bloopers of all the shows throughout 2024. I just going to show you some, just a little piece. Just a little piece. That's it. Not much. Hello. At midnight, the late night will be live, and we shall.
Okay.
3, 2, we're going all the way through, right? So on you,
Yes.
2.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Gentlemen. That was nice. I like that.
Thanks,
It's
thanks.
the end of the week, but it's the beginning.
You check it
That
out?
was
Yeah,
just
you
like
see what was going on.
Smooth.
Smooth.
I love it.
Smooth.
You didn't do the script?
You used to call me Ali Smooth.
Oh, yeah.
That's not in the script, nigga.
Oh, that's the problem. Okay, good.
Andrew, let me see you. I see some new colors. Let me just.
Oh,
He has a pants that fits. Like the still don't fit good.
Sorry?
It's a new pants that fit. It looks like a girl pants. We got it from my
And we're
sister.
still
or something.
recording.
I don't know. Let's go.
It's just that he has a lot of butt.
that's all the time.
He has a lot of.
You're homosexual. So
Behind
get
it.
into that a lot.
Some of what?
I mean, you have everything. You have
Three.
size. You have.
It's recording. 3, 2.
I mean, the butt size.
Quite a bit of imagination.
Insane.
In 3 and 2. Let's get to this. In 3, 2.
Good day, Sid Martin. I'm Yesenia Lazaro.
And I'm also Lawrence.
Should.
And I'm sure everybody's.
Even if it's that.
Go, let's go. 3, 2, and pose. Sashay, sashay.
Well,
Ooh.
send some smiles, send some kisses. Yes.
No, we're not
Look
kissing.
at the sky. Look at the sky. Sky. Look at the sky. Like up in it, yeah. Okay.
That's the logo.
Yeah, that looks the logo.
Try out.
What we looking for here? It's gonna bounce,
Oh,
and it's like a.
yes.
Sorry.
Do one like it's hot. It's hot because the sun won't be burning. The logo sun.
Oh, you're making me do such white things.
That's not bad. That's racist now. Let's just stick here.
Cuidado, toda mi gente.
Yeah. Racist would be me like pulling out a knife, like.
A machete.
The
We didn't say.
Oh, okay. I want to win a crystal peanut pineapple when he's there, so just make sure they don't leak.
That's all the
Jokes.
time. In 3, 2. 3, 2.
Welcome to the late night show. Motherfucker.
Wishing you a wonderful weekend.
Weekend. So on Fridays we say weekend.
Yeah, I think we should. This weekend. Week done.
I'm also Lawrence.
It's for that? And I'm also Lawrence. Wait, what? I'm sorry.
She's and you just have me.
I'm Aston and I'm Yesenia Lazaro.
Yes.
Down the thing with the lower.
Are you going to click? You're going to mix? Okay, so you start. I'm just singing your.
So I'm just going me, not
Is
him.
that
No.
Lazaro or Lazaro?
Lazaro.
I just play with you. Just, I'm
That's all the time we have in 3,
good stuff. Man.
2.
Weekend. Smack dab in the middle. Oh. Talking too much.
I was like, smack what?
I was like, smack dab in the middle of your week.
Let's go again.
Okay.
3, 2.
Good day, Sid Martin. I'm Yesenia Lazaro.
And I'm Alston Lawrence. sorry. That's it.
Early morning. 3,
Woo!
2.
But
No,
No.
that's mine.
Min Fina.
Oh, I don't know if that's mine. Wait.
Oh shit. The board comes.
The board.
Yeah, here we go. Break, rolling.
Okay. Rolling. Break.
Test. Yeah.
Test,
Hear me
one,
test.
two.
I'm test.
Fresh recording.
Okay, there you go. All right.
3, 2.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Oh, wow, bro. Jesus Christ. I think we should have had a little setup for this whole thing, but okay, continue.
All right, so your boy went and do some yachting.
Stop it for me now. Just
going to.
meaning the recording, right? You never have to stop the. Okay.
I did stop it because Pete did tell me clap and stop it.
Oh no.
But it's okay.
Okay. Just clap and keep it rolling. When you're doing me, just go all the way. You don't gotta stop.
Bye.
What? Ready?
Is he blasting?
Yeah, possible.
Good thing I
Top 5. Strictly local top 5.
Strictly local top 5 music video countdown.
magnificent,
Okay.
extraordinary,
Thank you, darling.
And then you start.
quiet, indubitably.
Actually, I have the best way how I got to this.
Okay.
Are you ready, Saya?
I feel like you set me up, but
I am.
Jesus.
I am.
Let me see. Testing, no test.
I'm testing. Before the fucking weekend, let's get into these headlines. No, let me calm it down.
Something. Okay, we're going in. Me. 3, 2.
Thank you. Testing.
Testing.
You know, I understand so much things, Glenda. So indecisive. Welcome. One more time. I know. Welcome to the Late Night Show. We have a good one for you. Let's begin.
Ever wondered how much a Caribbean leader earns? Think it's more than your yearly salary? You might be surprised. Welcome to our exclusive dive into the fascinating world of Caribbean leaders' salaries. We're counting down the top 10 highest paid political figures in the Caribbean, revealing not just the numbers, but the stories behind these leaders. From modest earnings to jaw-dropping paychecks, get ready for a journey that will leave you questioning, are they worth it, or is it too little? Stay tuned, because what we're about to reveal will definitely surprise you. In global politics, where decisions shape nations, leaders wield immense power and responsibility. They grapple with monumental challenges, steer the course of their countries, and often find themselves amid profound historical moments. The scrutiny, the demands, and the expectations that come with such roles are unparalleled. However, beyond the weight of their responsibilities lies an intriguing aspect of world leadership: their salaries. The compensation of world leaders is a subject that raises questions, sparks debates, and offers a unique insight into the priorities and values of nations across the globe. Today, we embark on a journey to explore the intriguing world of Caribbean leaders' salaries and report the 10 highest paid Caribbean leaders. Kicking off our list at the number 10 slot, we have the newest elected leader on our list, Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Terence Drew. A medical doctor turned politician, he is the 4th Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, having been elected in August 2022. Not a seasoned politician, Prime Minister Drew rose to be elected leader of the St. Kitts and Nevis Labour Party in 2021, where he quickly won the election the following year. His salary is fairly modest, especially considering the other leaders we can expect to see later on this list. Coming in at $150,000 Eastern Caribbean dollars, this is equivalent to just $55,500 a year. With an average salary in St. Kitts and Nevis of $19,730, the Prime Minister earns almost 3 times the salary of the average person, a useful metric we will use as we continue down our list. Next up on our list, we have the Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda, Mr. Gaston Brown. Prime Minister Brown has held the position of Prime Minister since 2014 and has become one of the stalwart figures of Caribbean leadership. With an academic background in banking and finance, Brown ventured into politics through the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party, ABLP. He quickly rose through the party ranks and was elected as the Member of Parliament for St. John's City West in 2004. Brown's tenure as Prime Minister has been marked by a commitment to economic growth, social development, and international cooperation. And for this, he has been greatly rewarded. His current salary stands at 150,000 EC dollars, which is equivalent to 55,500 US dollars. This is almost twice the average salary in the country. Continuing, we have yet another Eastern Caribbean country by the name of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, whose Prime Minister is none other than Ralph Gonsalves. Prime Minister Gonsalves is one of the serving Prime Ministers in the Caribbean, having been the country's leader since 2001, 22 years. He is the longest continuously serving head of government since St. Vincent and the Grenadines became independent in 1979. Gonsalves' journey in politics began early, and he was involved in various political and legal roles before becoming Prime Minister. Gonsalves has been a Member of Parliament (MP) for the constituency of North Central Windward since 1994. In 1994, upon the formation of the Unity Labour Party, he became Deputy Leader and eventually Leader in 1998. With Gonsalves as leader, the ULP dominated elections consistently, leading him to serve as party leader and Prime Minister. He holds a doctorate in government from the University of the West Indies, and his academic background has been instrumental in shaping his political career. When it comes to salary, he is not too dissimilar to that of our number 10 slot, with a total annual salary of 150,454 EC dollars or 55,724 US dollars. That is more than 3 times the average salary in the country at 40,900 EC dollars. Moving on, we come to one of the most notable leaders of the region, leading one of the most recognized countries from the Caribbean, the Prime Minister of Jamaica, Andrew Holness. Hailing from Kingston, Andrew Holness has been the leader of Jamaica since 2016. Holness previously served as Prime Minister from October 2011 to January 2012 and was the youngest person ever to be Prime Minister in Jamaica's history at the age of 39. He was elected as the Member of Parliament for West Central St. Andrew in 1997 and quickly rose in prominence as he became involved in various roles within the Jamaica Labour Party, JLP. Soon he was the leader and led them to victory on multiple occasions. When it comes to his salary, Prime Minister Holness has received positive criticism this year, as he announced that he will not be taking his massive pay hike under the new compensation structure for the Political Directorate in 2023. His compensation therefore will remain at its previous level, which is 9.1 million Jamaican dollars, instead of rising to 28.6 million Jamaican dollars, which seems like a lot, but is only approximately 58,550 US dollars, or about 4 times the average salary. We swing down to the south of the Caribbean now, to the southern economic giant that is Trinidad and Tobago. Prime Minister Keith Rowley of Trinidad and Tobago is also a long-serving leader in the region, having held the post since 2015. With a background in geology and engineering, Rowley's political journey began when he was elected as the Member of Parliament for Diego Martin West. Rising through the ranks of the People's National Movement, PNM, he eventually became the party's leader. As Prime Minister, Rowley has focused on economic development and energy sector reforms, given the sector's crucial role in the nation's economy. His salary is also the first major jump when it comes to the salary list of various leaders. Coming in at 576,000 Trinidad dollars annually, this is equivalent to approximately 85,655 US dollars. With the average salary of 106,150 Trinidad dollars, this is more than 5 times the average salary. If you're enjoying this enlightening journey into the world of politics and finance, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating insights and stories from around the Caribbean and the globe. Your support helps us bring you more content that you love. So, if you're not already part of our community, click that subscribe button and join us as we continue to explore, learn, and share. And remember, hit the bell icon to get notified every time we post a new video. Stay curious, stay informed. Next up on our list, we have a more recent addition to the Caribbean Leaders Table. Elected in 2021 amidst the pandemic, the Prime Minister of the Bahamas comes in at our number 6 spot. Prime Minister Philip Davis was a long-time politician, initially being elected as MP for Cat Island, Rum Cay, and San Salvador in 1992. He rose through the political ranks, serving as Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Public Works and Urban Development, Leader of the Opposition, all the way to Prime Minister. A long and hard-fought path to the premiership. Prime Minister Davis is fairly well compensated for his commitments. With a salary of 86,000 Bahamian dollars, this is equivalent to 86,000 US dollars. This is just under twice the national average salary of 46,800 US dollars. So compared to our previous leader who is paid almost the same, it can be said that Prime Minister Davis is more fairly paid. Now we break into the top half of our list, and this is where our salaries go up a notch again. Can you guess who is our number 5 spot? It is Guyana. Under the leadership of the young and energetic President Mohamed Irfan Ali, who was also elected in 2021 amidst the pandemic. Ali was an MP and cabinet minister until 2015, before leading the People's Progressive Party to electoral victories in 2020. He is the first Muslim to hold the office of president in Guyana's history, and only the second Muslim head of state in the Americas, after Noor Hassan Ali of Trinidad and Tobago. When it comes to the president's salary, however, he has received some criticism. Back in 2021, President Ali raised his salary from 150,000 to 20 million Guyanese dollars, which equates to 98,300 US dollars. With an average salary of 4,200,000 Guyanese dollars, this roughly equates to a salary 5 times that of the average person, or 20,000 US dollars. As we break into the top 3 most paid Caribbean leaders, we cross another milestone, and that is leaders who earn more than 100,000 US dollars annually. So who is our number 3 slot? Well, it is one of Times Magazine's 2022 most 100 influential persons in the world, Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Amour Motley. Prime Minister Motley is an attorney by profession, but has been a long-time politician in the country, having first been elected in 1994 and serving her constituency since. Elected as the leader of the Barbados Labour Party in 2008, Motley eventually won the premiership in 2018 with a landslide victory. She became the first woman in Barbados to hold the position and also became the first prime minister under its Republican system following constitutional independence in 2021. But with such a rich and deep story, what is the secret behind her finances? Well, the prime minister's salary is set at 213,334 Barbados dollars, which is 105,950 US dollars. With the average Bajan salary at 62,800 Barbados dollars, this equates to the Prime Minister earning almost 3.5 times the salary of the average person. At number 2, we have another high earner and a country that some may find surprising, and that is the President of the Dominican Republic, Luis Abinader. President Luis Abinader became President of the Dominican Republic in August 2020. Before becoming president, Abinader was the general manager of Grupo Abicor, his family's business consortium, which was started by his father, a former senator and finance minister. The conglomerate includes a real estate and construction company focused mainly on the tourism industry, a cement factory, and a private university. In a public declaration of assets released, he had a net worth of over 76 million US dollars, making him quite possibly the richest Caribbean leader. But does he earn the same amount he did before becoming president? Most definitely not. But with a salary of 120,000 US dollars, President Abinader is still a significant earner. The average salary in the Dominican Republic is just 4,242 US dollars annually. This means the Dominican Republic has the largest difference between its leaders and the average citizen, with the president of the country making more than 26 times the average person. And finally, at our top spot, we have another country that is no one's first guess when it comes to high-salaried leaders. Do you know? Well, if you guessed Suriname at our number 1 spot, well done. the president of Suriname, Chan Santoki, comes in as our highest salaried political leader. A former police officer turned politician, President Santoki's rise to the presidency came after a turbulent time in Suriname, with the arrest of its former president and dictatorial leader, Deji Bouterse. As the lead investigator against Bouterse, Santoki gained support, winning the 2020 elections and standing as the sole nominee for president of Suriname. He was subsequently elected president by acclamation in an uncontested election later in 2020. What about his salary? As the highest paid leader, President Santoki earns $4,646,552 Surinamese dollars annually, which equates to $133,560 And the average salary in Suriname? Just $7,051 This means the president of Suriname makes a staggering 18 times the average citizen in Suriname, second only to the Dominican Republic president. The salaries of these political leaders represent a dynamic interplay of various factors, reflecting the values, priorities, and economic conditions of their respective nations. The remuneration of world leaders can vary significantly, from modest figures to substantial sums. These salaries often serve as a reflection of societal expectations, political stability, and the cost of living in their countries. Ultimately, while these figures are interesting to consider and compare, they also offer an insight as to what each Caribbean country deems fair for those who lead them. For a job as complicated as leading a country, the way we see the position as a duty or a profession can alter the way we think leaders should be compensated. So, as we wrap up our journey through the salaries of Caribbean leaders, it's important to reflect on the broader implications of these figures. These salaries are more than just numbers. They symbolize the trust, responsibility, and expectations placed upon these leaders by their citizens. They remind us that leadership is not just about power or prestige, but about service, sacrifice, and the commitment to better the lives of others. In the end, it's not the salary that defines a leader's legacy, but the impact they have on their nation and its people. So let's continue to inspire and hold our leaders accountable, ensuring that their contributions are worth every penny of their earnings. Thank you for joining us on this enlightening journey. Remember to keep engaging, questioning, and striving for a world where leadership truly signifies service. Tell us what you think of our list. Do you think these salaries are fair? Are they what you expected? Let us know in the comment section below. Check out this video on the top 10 Caribbean leaders of the year. As we close this intriguing exploration of Caribbean leaders' salaries, we hope it sparked your interest and broadened your understanding. If you found this video enlightening and want more content like this, please show your support. Hit that like button to let us know you enjoyed it. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more captivating content. Sharing this video with friends and family helps spread the knowledge and keeps the conversation going. And finally, turn on notifications by clicking the bell icon so you never miss out on our latest videos. Your engagement is our motivation. Keep liking, subscribing, sharing, and staying notified for more exciting content. Thank you for being part of our journey. Until next time, this is Gyre Caribbean.
And I fall on my knees. Tell me how to wait me. Tell me how to wait for. Tell me all that I should know. And I fall on my knees. Tell me how to wait to go. Tell me how to wait to be. To evoke some empathy. And I fall on my knees. Tell me how to wait to go. Tell me how to wait to see. Show me all that I could be.
Hello, my people. Make sure you tune in to Sit, Sip, and Chat every Monday at 5 p.m. on TV 15 and every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m.
And make sure tune in to the Late Night Show with Henry Vic from Monday to Friday at 10 p.m. with a repeat in the afternoon for no reason. In the afternoon, the Late Night Show at 3 p.m. Thank you, TV15.
Thank you, TV15. Make sure to tune in
Make sure to tune in to the Late Night.
and sit, sip, and chat.
Late Night.
For over 50 years, we've understood the power of connection. Back when connecting St. Martin to the world seemed impossible, we made it possible. From pioneering international calling to introducing digital mobile services and laying the foundations for fiber optic technology, we've kept you connected wherever life or business takes you. And through it all, we've proudly supported the vibrant culture, traditions, and people that make St. Martin unique. But that's not where our journey ends. It's where it starts again. With a brand new commitment to connecting you, we've been working tirelessly behind the scenes to improve our services and bring you a better, more reliable network. We've restored the SMPR1 fiber cable that connects St. Martin to the world, ensuring faster speeds and greater stability. Our mobile platforms are being upgraded, and we've expanded our mobile coverage so you can stay connected wherever you go. Our new customer service system is easier to use and more efficient than ever. Plus, we're continuing to expand our fiber network, bringing you the most advanced internet available. But beyond pioneering technology, we're committed to uplifting our community, because this is our home too. That's why we provide free connectivity to many schools across St. Martin, equipping the next generation with the tools to connect, learn, and grow. At TELEC, proudly local, we're here for today, tomorrow, and every milestone ahead.
Okay, let's continue the show. Now, of course, for us to leave 2024 behind, we always have to look back at the craziness that happens in St. Martin. So no, we'll continue to have in the flashbacks, but we have some other things in store for you programming-wise, so make sure you stick with Late Night as always. But yeah, we got some good stuff for you. Let's go into today's flashback.
Flashback.
It would have been ideal if we could have received more of those answers, albeit, as I stated in the introduction, that these written questions took the course of written questions to which the government ministers are called to answer in writing. In addition to that, we have MP Peterson with his questions in the second round. I just want to recall for the listening public, we received one motion in the first part of this meeting. We have received another one that will be copied to all members. And I hereby adjourn this meeting until Thursday afternoon at 3 p.m. Meeting adjourned.
Why love you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God, stop you lying.
Welcome to the Late Night Show. Hope everything is okay. Hope everything is all right. Hope you're enjoying your day so far. It's all about the Sarah Late Night Show. According to We Voice, Sarah Conda. Sarah Conda, Sarah Conda. Hashtag Sarah Conda. That's going to be the new trend. I don't care what nobody say. I taking it. It is amazing. I am your humble host, Andrew Dick. Talk to you. Serious business. The Council of Ministers, namely 2 members of the Council of Ministers, Leona Romeo Marlin and also Stuart A. Johnson. Apparently, they survived a vote of no because the meeting was just not called. Thank you, Auntie Sarah Conda. Thank you, Sarah Conda. Thank you, Sarah Conda. Sarah Westcott Williams planned the meeting for Thursday, the same day that she has to travel today, like this Thursday. Today, she had to travel to Suriname. Also, the two-faced politicians of the opposition, Rolando Bryson, Sephira Jacobs, Chacho is not call him opposition because he's Chacho. And also, I think 2 other members. It was a total of 5 members of parliament left for Suriname today, Thursday, on the day that they were supposed to have a meeting that is so urgent, a meeting that, according to the opposition, Stuart Johnson, Leona Marlin are doing such a bad job, and with immediate effect, they had to be fired. They had to vote on that today. Instead, they waited, they stayed quiet, and they wanted to see what Sarah Westcott Williams, the person who scheduled the meetings, would do, because she is also part of that delegation to go to Suriname to represent St. Martin in some inter-parliamentary talks between different parliaments there. Okay, sounds so super important.
I hereby adjourn this meeting until Thursday afternoon at 3 p.m. Meeting adjourned.
I feel so deceived. Why I feel deceived is because, not because Sarah saved the day, because Sarah's smart. She knew that on Thursday she had to travel, but she scheduled it for Thursday anyway. She knew that another meeting was scheduled for 10 o'clock this morning that had nothing to do with and the meeting about the airport with this whole 100 million business. So she knew it's supposed to be for Thursday, but nobody said anything about it because they were part of the trip. So of course they're not going to say anything. They want their little vacation. They want to go Suriname and chill. They want to relax. So why would they say, but Madam Chair, Thursday we're leaving, so let's do the meeting on Wednesday. Or you know what? We're not going Suriname anymore. We're going to stay here and work for the people that they always say they're working for. The same opposition members who brought the motion of no confidence against these ministers that apparently are no good and they are not doing anything right. So they need to be fired now, but not now until I come back from Suriname. But they have to go home until I come back from Suriname, because then in 2 weeks from now, when they come back to St. Martin, when they come back, they're going reach. When they back from Princess Juliana International Airport, hi honey, mwah, mwah, everything all right, drop me home. They go home, they reach home. As soon as they reach home, they're like, whew, that was a nice trip, boy. Oh, Sarah, I had fun with Sarah, boy, it was really good. Anyway, back to opposition mode. What happening with Stuart Johnson and Leona Marlin, the meeting? When are we going to get the meeting, Madam Chair? Sarah Westcott Williams, you're wasting time. You're deflecting. And then you go come on the floor of Parliament, stand up, everybody, Sylvia. How is it that these members of Parliament of the opposition think that we are so stupid that we are not going to catch on at the fact that they gone on a joy trip to Suriname while they schedule a meeting for Thursday today? If right intentions, members of Parliament of the opposition, that feel that these ministers are doing such a horrible job, you would have come at the same time on Tuesday when Sarah Westcott Williams said, this Thursday, the meeting has been scheduled for. Thank you. You will call a press conference right after or send a press release or go on your live stream and basically say, what the hell? She knows she going to Suriname on Thursday. Why is it that she put it for Thursday? Oh, irresponsible. Hashtag my life with these ministers. Hashtag my life with these lying ass politicians. I'm upset. Yeah, I play the fool, but I don't like people playing me the fool. You understand what I mean? I know that don't make sense, but you know what I mean. Like, it's the utmost you knew you was going Suriname on Thursday, and you did not say anything for these 2 days. And then you're going to just jump on the plane with Sarah, with Chacho, not say anything because you're going to Suriname on our dime day, on the day that they were supposed to have a meeting that is so urgent, a meeting that, according to the opposition, Stuart Johnson, Leona Marlin are doing such a bad job, and with immediate effect, they had to be fired. They had to vote on that today. Instead, they waited, they stayed quiet, and they wanted to see what Sarah Westcott Williams, the person who scheduled the meetings, would do, because she is also part of that delegation to go to Suriname to represent St. Martin in some inter-parliamentary talks between different parliaments there. Okay, sounds so super important.
I hereby adjourn this meeting until Thursday afternoon at 3 p.m. Meeting adjourned.
I feel so deceived. Why I feel deceived is not because Sarah saved the day, because Sarah's smart. She knew that on Thursday she had to travel, but she scheduled it for Thursday anyway. She knew that another meeting was scheduled for 10 o'clock this morning that had nothing to do with and the meeting about the airport with this whole 100 million business. So she knew it's supposed to be for Thursday, but nobody said anything about it because they were part of the trip. So of course they're not going to say anything. They want their little vacation. They want to go Suriname and chill. They want to relax. So why would they say, but Madam Chair, Thursday we're leaving, so let's do the meeting on Wednesday. Or you know what? We're not going Suriname anymore. We're going to stay here and work for the people that they always say they're working for. The same opposition members who brought the motion of no confidence against these ministers that apparently are no good and they are not doing anything right. So they need to be fired now, but not now until I come back from Suriname. But they have to go home until I come back from Suriname, because then in 2 weeks from now, when they come back to St. Martin, when they come back, they're going reach. When they're back from Princess Juliana International Airport, hi honey, mwah, mwah, everything all right, drop me home. They go home, they reach home. As soon as they reach home, they're like, whew, that was a nice trip, boy. Oh, Sarah, I had fun with Sarah, boy, it was really good. Anyway, back to opposition mode. What happening with Stuart Johnson and Leona Marlin, the meeting? When are we going to get the meeting, Madam Chair? Sarah Westcott Williams, you're wasting time. You're deflecting. And then you go come on the floor of Parliament, stand up, everybody, Sylvia. How is it that these members of Parliament of the opposition think that we are so stupid that we are not going to catch on at the fact that they gone on a joy trip to Suriname while they scheduled a meeting for Thursday today? If right intentions, members of Parliament of the opposition, that feel that these ministers are doing such a horrible job, you would have come at the same time on Tuesday when Sarah Westcott Williams said, this Thursday, the meeting has been scheduled for. Thank you. You would have called a press conference right after or send a press release or go on your live stream and basically say, what the hell? She knows she going to Suriname on Thursday. Why is it that she put it for Thursday? Oh, irresponsible. Hashtag my life with these ministers. Hashtag my life with these lying ass politicians. I'm upset. Yeah, I play the fool, but I don't like people playing me the fool. You understand what I mean? I know that don't make sense, but you know what I mean. It's the utmost you knew you was going Suriname on Thursday, and you did not say anything for these 2 days. And then you're going to just jump on the plane with Sarah, with Chacho, not say anything because you're going to Suriname on our dime, and then you're not going to say anything. So for the next 1.5 weeks, Stuart Johnson and Leona Marlin have to wake up every day and whether they're going to go home or not. For the next 2 weeks, they have to live that. And then when they come back, you're going to go back to playing opposition and playing majority and, oh, we don't get along, the vote didn't take. The meeting was adjourned until further notice. So whenever Sarah Westcott Williams, Savage Anaconda, Sarah Anaconda decides that she wants to have this meeting will take place. Nothing else to say to it. There's so much other things happening in the country, so we're going to focus on that. But I just wanted to get that out of my system because I don't want to seem as if, it's just Sarah saved the day and it's Sarah's fault. No, it's not only Sarah Westcott Williams' fault that a meeting didn't take place today, Thursday. It is everybody else's fault who didn't come out and say that they have inter-parliamentary meetings in Suriname for today, Thursday, and 5 members of parliament went to it. So we have 10, but the 10 ain't going to meet while Sarah ain't here. So what's going to happen is we're just going to have to wait 2 more weeks of no parliament. And then when the chairperson of parliament she come back, she all refreshed, everything good. Okay, all right, we're going to schedule the meeting next week. For normal, opposition is going to stand up in parliament and go they're no good. They need to be home. No, they need to be sent home now. Let's vote. After you just get a little vacation in Suriname. Shame on you. All of you. Welcome to the Late Night Show. I need to go back to because I get all my everything out of my system now.
Let me check in. What's this one here? P. No. Next slide. This. 2. But last week you all had 20/20 vision last week. You all have cataracts in eye. You all fake. You all fake.
Before that election, politicians does not 20/20 vision, but out the way, plenty things that happen, and before you know it, like sickness, just get Alzheimer's, they can't remember what they promised you and I. To win and not stopping. It's election time, so they come with the yes again. Everybody knows it's exactly where I'm coming from. Let me let the fool divide the good and smart and the top. But I hear the ask question. Ask question. The smart ask question. And the top ask question. But at the end of the day, no man just complain with you. Why so happy? Let the grief just go on free. Skip question. You get no answers. And it starts hurting. Let me know what they do. Ask me questions. But we get no answers. They taxi and shuttle. I'm bringing back to the end. You ask me questions. But you get no answers. But Before the policeman, look what they said when he said. Asking questions, we get no answers. But they understand themselves. They don't care what this minister say. All they know now, they see that no right. People got move. Security's politicians from their policy.
I'm calling my heart, calling my heart, calling my
Here in St. Martin, we take pride in our island and want the world to see us, to hear us, and to dream about us.
Yeah, it's here certainly. Oh my god, this gotta be the first place with these now. Yeah, this is it. Can I get this one printed, please?
Of course, let me get it ready for you. Here you go.
Thank you, bro. Like, this was really quick and I appreciate it because I'm on the run. Have a good one.
That is a late night show. Thank you so much for watching. Until tomorrow, do have a safe and pleasant one. Bye bye.
Viva la fe, viva